for the Valley, 3 districts, Congressional District 28, 15, and 34 specifically, that's where we could see some real changes.
A closer look now at the redistricting discussions happening right now in Austin. As you just heard, there is a chance this could affect our local districts, which are currently represented by Henry Cuellar, Monica de la Cruz, and Vicente Gonzalez. As Sarah Cervera reports, some local lawmakers now want a hearing right here in the Valley.
Redistricting is the process of drawing boundaries for congressional districts to determine who represents us. It usually happens every 10 years after U.S. Census data is collected, but Texas state lawmakers are looking to change it ahead of schedule during a special legislative session with next year's midterm elections looming.
Being talked about, I think, primarily because President Trump is desperate and worried about the fact that the Republicans could lose control of the U.S. House next year.
Redistricting was placed on the agenda because of what Republicans say are concerns raised by the U.S. Department of Justice. UTSA political science professor John Taylor says the concerns are about 4 districts in the Dallas and Houston area that some say violated federal law when they were first drawn.
This is going to get nasty, and it's going to end up most likely in all sorts of bitter litigation, fights before federal courts and eventually the Supreme Court.
In a statement, Republican State Representative Janie Lopez, who represents part of Cameron and Willacy County in Austin, says the DOJ sent a letter to Texas, adding the districts in question are, quote, unconstitutional coalition of districts formed by race that will be looked at during the session, end quote. But many Valley Democratic lawmakers are calling the move a power grab to try and redraw lines to increase the number of Republicans in Congress.
What they're trying to do is dilute the voice of regions like South Texas, Latino and African American and women and other minorities from having representation in Washington.
For that reason, Democratic U.S. Congressman Vicente Gonzalez, who represents part of Hidalgo, Cameron, and Willacy counties in Washington, says he submitted a letter to the redistricting committee asking for a public hearing in the Valley. He's not alone. State Representative Terry Canales, along with several other Democratic Valley lawmakers, also sent a request for a hearing in the RGV.
The Valley would essentially lose its voice in Congress to these highly gerrymandered districts that were designed just so Republicans can get elected and they can keep the very slim majority that they have in the House.
Taylor says the 3 congressional districts in the Valley could see some shifts, especially Congressional District 28. Democrat Henry Cuellar currently holds that seat.
So there's a thought they might revise Cuellar's district, move Democrats out, move Republicans in. But where are you going to move them from? You're going to move them from Tony Gonzalez's district, CD 23. Are you going to take them from CD 15, Monica de la Cruz's district, and she's a Republican?
In a statement, Cuellar says, quote, if the lines are redrawn, South Texas could lose critical representation on the House Appropriations Committee, which would mean fewer federal dollars coming to our community, end quote. When we asked District 15 Congressional Representative Monica de la Cruz for a comment, her office said redistricting is a state issue. Channel 5 News did reach out to the governor's office for comment. As of news time, we have not received a response. We also reached out to every local Valley state lawmaker for comment. To read the statements we did receive, head over to our website, krgv.com. Sarah Cervera, Channel 5 News.